I think this is a very hard time to be in the American political arena. I think the country is very factionalized. They call it tribes. I grew up in political life and never heard of tribes. I heard of parties. I heard of parties working together. I heard of passing good legislation to integrate this nation, to make people more efficient and productive in their lives. And that was always the politics and the legislation that I understood and participated in. Now I go to the Senate with 25 years under my belt, with a great constituency to represent. This state, the 5th largest economic power on earth, over 40 million people, bigger than 21 states and the District of Columbia put together, needs strong representation. What I've learned is because the state is so big, one really has to be very active. Because if you take the money from California, you can split it with a number of other states. And California has but 2 senators. So the ability really is to be in a place, a time, and on a committee where you can get things done for your state. And in the most part, that's something called appropriations, which I now have considerable seniority on. When Joe Biden, some 20-plus years ago, asked me if I would be willing to be the first woman on the Senate Judiciary Committee, I said to him, Joe, I'm not a lawyer. And he said, that doesn't matter, but things here have to change. And that was following directly the Anita Hill hearings. Now, maybe some of you are too young to remember this, but I happened to have been in an airport and I saw a big group of people around a television set. So I went over to take a look. And what did I see but an all-male Senate Judiciary Committee grilling Anita Hill. And it was not nice. And it was not what one would like to see. And that was my incentive to run in 1992. It became the Year of the Woman because both Barbara Boxer and I were elected from California, 2 women from Washington and 2 women from Maine. And we broke the lock on power for women in the Senate. So we are now up in the 20s and growing. And the pride I take in seeing this institution grow, widen, and change is just enormous. There's still very, very big problems out there. There are problems for women. There are problems for young women. The Me Too movement. There are problems in our economy that need to be straightened out, in our social structure that need to be straightened out, education, all these things that make a great nation like ours, we can participate in with specifics. And I just want you to know that this is the greatest honor in my life, to represent my city and my state in the Senate of the United States. And I want you to know that the number of you that are here, because after all, I've had a few terms, is really surprising to me. And as I walked into this jammed room, somewhat overheated, I thought, you know, how lucky I am to have a constituency like this. How lucky I am to have a family, husband, daughter, stepdaughters that support me. And I just want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that I will do everything in my power to be the kind and type of United States Senator, not only that I have been, but hopefully, having learned from the years, gained the experience, able to provide the leadership as the lead Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, first woman. What's not lost on anyone is when I got there, there were no women. And now, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, a senator from Hawaii, Mazie Hirono. Now there are 4 women on the Democratic side of the Senate Judiciary Committee. And we work together, and we work with others, and I hope you'll find our service very forceful and special for you. Those of you that are women, those of you who are men, this is such a great country, and it's been factionalized and trivialized with rhetoric. We must stop that. We must come together as the great power that we are for the good of the nation and, I think, of mankind. Thank you.